Hello and welcome back to my vlogs. I am in this little vibey lighting of my office, and I just got done recording and editing a podcast episode that's going to go up tomorrow. And I also had on my to-do list that I had to get on and record a vlog update today about my health journey thus far, because it's been I actually did record a video last week after my first therapy appointment, but since then I hadn't recorded or vlogged about this health journey, specifically when it comes to nutrition, since March, middle of March, I think. So it's been long overdue. I feel like a lot of little improvements and things have happened since March, and when watching my vlog videos to edit and post on my YouTube channel, it's been great if for any reason that I made any of them was for myself, to see the progress that I've had, because I started working with my nutritional coach, Taysa, in February. We more like intentionally started macro counting in March, as of March 1st, which you've seen like the day one that I've posted about and whatnot. And it is almost June 1st next week. So March, April, May, 3 months, 4 months come June 1st, right? Either way, March. No, that's 3 full months. You could probably just tell by looking at me, like physically, have I had progress that I typically would measure when it comes to my health, which is my size, my measurements, the scale? No. Look the same. But I've realized that the work that I've needed, not only currently in my life, but all the years past, is all internal work. And so it's been a huge, almost like breaking open of my self and my soul with my self-love work. It's almost been like a restart, honestly, with a lot of the things that I've come to realize in my self-reflection, and just seeing that the changes that I'm looking for and expecting physically, how they're still rooted in like shame and feelings of wanting to feel more worthy based on my looks. And also just that the most important work that I need right now is internal work, in continuously strengthening and working on my mindset and my relationship with food in that sense, and how that ties into my body, my self-worth, and the self-love that encompasses all of that. So though this doesn't look much different, in here has had a lot of big accomplishments and achievements and growth. So I am really proud of myself for that. And what's helped me a lot the last 2 weeks, this is the second week going on now, is focusing on my wins every single day. Because I've noticed with my weekly check-ins with Taysa that I was still getting so caught up in not being able to report to her big changes in my weight or my inches. And to me, that made me feel like I was letting her down. I was letting myself down, and it was putting me in a space of shame. But she never projected those types of vibes or feedback in that way. And so I realized, like, I I'm focused on the negative too much. I need to focus more on my wins each day and each week, being 1% better than the day before, than the meal before, than my mindset, the last meal, all of those things. So that's kind of been where I've been at, is the mindset shifts, the internal work, and all of that. I still feel like I have a lot of work to go. So I'm super grateful that I'm still working with Taysa, because I feel like we've really just scratched the surface, even though I can see from my first videos that I've done how far I've come since my first month. And now wrapping up my third of tracking macros. But yeah, I read this part of my book last night and it gave me all the feels, because I feel like it's exactly what I needed to read, and it has everything to do with kind of what I've just talked to you about and where I'm at in my journey of really working again on separating my worth and my success to being tied to my size and my weight, and also what we can get super stuck in is immediate results to equal like satisfaction, and in the sense of like eating a healthy meal and expecting the pounds to reflect that tomorrow. So anyways, I'm going to stop explaining and share it. This is from my book, Better Than Happy. I've talked about it a lot in all areas that I share on, by Jody Moore, one of my life coaches. And this is in the chapter on faith, page 243. And it says, "Today I have lengthened my lens when it comes to my body and health. I decided that it might take me a year or two to lose these 20 pounds. And after a lot of work on my thoughts, I am okay with that, because I know that changing my body size does not actually make me feel better or complete me. Only my thoughts can do that, which means I can choose to feel better today if I want to. But 2 years are going to go by, and I can be healthier or not by the end. Why not go for it? But I refuse to suffer or punish myself to get there. This longer lens means I don't have to. Being committed for the long haul, observing my current patterns and relationships with food, and connecting with myself along the way are the actions I'm going to take to get to a place where I feel at my healthiest. I'm all in. There's no rush. This longer term perspective feels like love to me, and love is the only way I will allow myself to pursue weight loss now. My longer lens..." Oh, never mind. I don't need to finish the last sentence, but all the feels. That last sentence, I had to keep myself from tearing up, from getting choked up. But that's how I feel. The progress that I've seen thus far is really looking at removing labels that I have on food. A lot of what Taysa talks about, and if you follow her on her social medias, you will see it, is removing good and bad food labels from food. And I have noticed in doing that, the shift that it's created for me in my mind. Removing foods from being good or bad just makes them neutral. And when they're neutral, I see how that removes the drama that I tie to those foods. And when I remove the drama, it then removes a lot of the cravings or urges to have them. So when it comes to something like chocolate cake, I not no longer, but I've now learned to not label it as something bad, or I can't have that, or I shouldn't have that. Instead, it's all that is simply a piece of cake. It's delicious, but not making it a must and not making it a restriction either. And just telling myself I can have it or I cannot have it. And either way, I will be okay. And that has been a big game changer for me. It's something I'm still working on, and something helpful that Taysa talks to me about, and I remind myself, is I have to be patient with myself and give myself grace that this is like changing 32 years of programming that I've had when it comes to food, nutrition, and myself and my mindset when it comes to food. But I do have to say that starting from the point of removing those labels has been awesome for me. And internally, I feel the shift and how beneficial that is for me. So it's hard to, and there's not really more to say about it. It's hard to get unless you really try it and do it. And so yeah, that's one of the big things. Another thing is with tracking macros, is it something I'm going to do for the rest of my life, or that I feel I need to? No. I feel like something I've learned from my nutrition coach, and through tracking my macros, is it's helped me gain an awareness of how much I'm consuming. I already knew coming into this that your girl has a big appetite. I always have had a big appetite until the time comes where I go to eating healthy or like traditional dieting, when it's like a healthy or nutritious meal. All of a sudden the appetite's low. I get full really quick. A little goes a long way for me, and then I'm done. But when it is food of my choice, your girl can pack. She can pack it on. And very much shows. But counting macros has been super beneficial to me to see how much I'm consuming, but also what portions do actually fill me up and leave me feeling satisfied. And then noticing when I am eating in excess out of boredom, out of habit, or out of a scarcity mindset. So that is what I've loved about counting macros. And again, focusing on things like this, of being mindful of my hunger cues, of when I'm feeling scarcity around food, when I'm thinking to eat out of boredom or out of trying to numb from feeling feelings or processing emotions, and also noticing when I'm tying my worth and happiness to my size and body. This overall experience has been huge in helping me become aware of all of those things and to be able to realize them in the moment. Before, when it came to food, I've learned through coaching programs previously, even to starting my work with Taysa, when it comes to like intuitively eating and avoiding like cravings and trying to lose weight from a healthier space, they talked a lot about in the moments of craving foods, whatever the foods are. Sorry, I didn't know how to speak just then. But of like tapping into your mind and seeing, like getting curious, of seeing like, why do I want this now? Am I really hungry? What am I thinking that this is going to provide me with? Things like that. But before, I could never take a moment to do that because it was automatically, if the craving came, all I was thinking was, am I going to give in to the craving or not? And if I did, it was immediate consuming and a lot of it. And if I didn't, it was thinking of what to replace it with. And I never really was able to take a minute to be curious of why I was thinking what I was thinking, craving what I was craving, and feeling what I was feeling. And I've been able to do that now. So yeah, I am sorry my vlogs have been so boring aesthetically of just being in my car. Hopefully the change of scenery with this one and lighting is a little better than all of my ones that I've posted thus far. It's just really convenient for me to do them when I'm in the car. But anyways, that's kind of a rundown of the shifts I've been experiencing lately when it comes to me and my relationship with food and nutrition. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Drop the questions below. I don't know what else to say. I think that's it. Also, on Mother's Day, I cooked it one other time before Mother's Day, but I made the recipe on point on Mother's Day, and I feel like it was the best chocolate cake I've ever had. So I made it a second time this past Sunday. This is a saved portion in my fridge. And see, I've found another change. I've found that when I give myself the freedom to eat what I want and when I want it without making myself feel guilty or bad or like I need to go work it off, I find that like the first bite or two taste the best. First 1, 2, or 3 bites. And then after that, it could be fun. But if I like take time to savor each bite and what I'm experiencing, it only takes a few bites and then I'm good. So that's been another positive thing, because before it didn't matter. All I saw was the portion on my plate, and the goal was, which is tied to what I was taught in my childhood, is finish everything on the plate. You don't waste. And so I would eat it all. And your girl don't do that no more. Even if I'm at a restaurant, once I'm full, I'm full. And you could take it away. I don't need it. I'm not that girl anymore. We'll be fine. So, yeah. We're growing. We're trying our best to be glowing and working on ourselves. Confidence is a muscle. Self-love is a muscle. Sometimes it's going to be strong. Sometimes it's going to be back to the basics, back to square one, and you're going to have to work on strengthening it again. Even myself, who's consistently studied about, talked about, shared about self-love for the last several years, I am very much in a season where I feel like I'm back to square one. And that's why I felt called to share with you guys in the way that I have been on these vlogs of my health journey, as well as in the podcast starting in May of the Life Edit Challenge that I was doing. I don't know if anyone even is doing it. But if the only person that was doing it was myself, and I simply have just been documenting the journey through my podcast episodes and my YouTube, then that's what's needed. Because like I said, I was really struggling with my mindset and being hard on myself a few weeks ago. And then I came across the vlogs that I recorded back in March when I first started this journey with Taysa and working with her as my nutrition coach. And it was exactly what I needed. And I'm so glad that I recorded it so I could go back and reflect on where I came from and where I started in this journey to see how far I've come now, because I was in a place of not even being able to see that growth because I was so stuck in shame. So anyways, talking too much. We're at almost 20 minutes. So love you, mean it, and talk to you later.